Hey world, it's Ryan here. Hey, I just wanted to give a health update on how I've been doing. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so here I am. I'm doing decent. I'm still dealing with my health issues. Unfortunately, it's been just over a year now, and we've pretty firmly established that we think I have something called chronic fatigue, which essentially boils down to an intolerance to physical activity. And so, if anyone knows me, that's a very frustrating condition to deal with. I've always enjoyed running and being active, playing frisbee. I mean, I've enjoyed being outdoors and moving. You know, I worked at FedEx for about 4.5 years. You know, a job on my feet, outdoors. You know, I've always enjoyed moving. You know, and so a year ago, last December, my health took a drastic turn, and I ended up in bed for, 2.5 months straight, and we got no answers, and we finally kind of landed on this condition known as chronic fatigue, and it kind of sounds like a joke. You know, it's a little frustrating to explain to people right now, what's going on. And you say, I have something called chronic fatigue, and everyone's like, oh, you're just tired. Like, I'm tired all the time too, and it's like, well, no, I physically can't do much, so it's been a frustrating year for sure, and so, I'm grateful at the moment. I'm on a little bit of an upward trend, but we're still talking to doctors. We're still trying new medications and trying new things at home, trying to figure out what's going to help me get better, because I've, not been able to work hardly at all, very, very limited working capacity. And there's been so many days over the course of this year I've need help even just watching the kids, because I've been a lot of times bedridden. And so it's been a very challenging year, and I never would have thought a year ago when this started that this would have taken as long as it has. And so unfortunately, I'm still battling through it, but we're doing good. Our family's good. I would appreciate prayers for all of us, but especially for Roslin, who's working a lot right now and also doing a ton of the housework as well. She's a champ. She's taken it super well, and but I would definitely appreciate prayers for her and just encouragement. If you know her, send her a message and let her know she's doing a great job, because she really is. And but with all this time spent at home, it's very hard to find things I can do. Physical things wear me out super fast, and there's been times where even mental activity, trying to learn something or focus on something, wears me out just within a matter of 20-30 minutes sometimes. And so it's been hard to figure out, what do I do with all this time? I'm sitting at home, I'm lying in bed, it's been a year. I don't want to just lie here and sulk in my own misery, so to speak. I want to be productive. There's a natural drive in me. I want to provide for my family. I want to be, actively engaged, in people's lives. And, a lot of those pieces have been missing. I've been grateful, again, in the moments where I'm able to. I love getting together to see family and, getting out for a walk and different things. But one thing that's been on my heart a lot recently has been, I've had this idea of maybe pursuing a project that I would call fitness with an illness. And essentially what I see that idea as is basically, it started for me with, I've always loved running. I've always loved being active. But this year has really changed what fitness looks like for me. This is not a bragging point, but a year and a half ago, I would have been walking 7 miles a day at work. I would come home a few times a week and go for a run, sometimes 3-4 miles, and play with the kids, go play frisbee. I mean, just like it always seemed like my energy had no limitations. And through this whole illness, at my worst, getting up to go to the bathroom took all of my energy for the day. It was like just to get out of bed to the bathroom and back. I mean, it was an exhausting experience just through that. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm in my 20s. I've been healthy my whole life, and so fitness over the course of this year has looked very, very different for me. And there's been days where you get out of bed and you kind of move your arms or you do a couple squats and you're like, that's it, because you're trying to keep your body moving in some way so that your muscles don't deteriorate too much. And so it's been a humbling journey for me, for sure. And so with the idea of fitness with an illness, what my goal would be is to create a community of people who are dealing with some kind of physical ailment, a disease, a physical disability or limitation, and just come alongside people and encourage them, as well as myself, to continue to try and learn to find ways to maintain some level of physical fitness despite our health circumstances. And so I'm doing this for me as much as anyone else who wants to come alongside me. I am not an expert by any means. I'm not a physical trainer. I'm just a guy who has always enjoyed exercise. And this year has been extremely humbling. And there comes a point after a year where you start to say, okay, how long is this thing going to be around? Because we kept thinking, this is going to be a few weeks, a month, or 2 months, and then the clock has continued to tick. And so, now I'm just kind of trying to lean into it. I still pray and I hope, and I'm optimistic that someday I will get through this. But for the time being, my mindset is, okay, I've got to try to have some level of fitness despite my circumstances. And so to anyone out there that or if you yourself are dealing with some kind of ailment, I would love to come alongside you and just encourage you in your fight and in your struggle to just try and maintain some level of fitness and health despite whatever circumstance you're going through. So I'm going to create a YouTube channel, which I know YouTube channels these days are like podcasts. Everyone has one. So I apologize for adding to the massive and ever-growing sea of content. But this is just something that's been on my heart. I have a lot of time on my hands, and I think this is something that I could do without too much effort. And so, Fitness with an Illness is going to be the name of the project. Like I said, I'll start a YouTube channel so you can follow me through that. I have a Facebook page as well. I'll do that, and I'll probably add an Instagram at some point too. And but yeah, those will probably be the best ways to follow my health, and as well, just to I'm hoping to give out tips and advice, and maybe even do minimal workouts with people. So if that's something that interests you at all, please follow. I would love just to build a community of people who are struggling with their health and to just fight through it together. It's one thing I can say this year is it's one of those things that's very, very hard for others to understand, unless you're going through it. And I've been so blessed by the number of people who have stepped in and helped our family financially with watching kids, with food, so many ways, And so I don't ever want to claim that I'm fighting this alone, because I'm not. I've had so much support. But I think there are times, at least in the midst of your symptoms, you can start to feel alone. Like that no one understands it, no one gets it. And it's not their fault that they don't get it. It's just you don't know what it's like to have to adjust your life to a physical, or to a health related issue until you've had one. I've been so humbled this year. I've been so humbled even just in the regards of weight gain. That has been super humbling. I've always been able to, for the most part, eat what I want, and I could just run it off, and so there hasn't been any consequences, and so this year that's been something too. I'm exploring, a healthy diet for the first time in my life, and I'm not doing perfect, but I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to do better, and it's changed things for sure, and so to anyone who's out there and you're feeling alone in this fight, I hope that this video and any future video I do might be an encouragement to you. And I just want to build a community where we can come together and just say, come on, guys, fight the good fight. You're doing good. And hopefully just create a a safe place. I hate using the term safe place, but, essentially a safe place for anyone going through some kind of health issue, just so we can talk and we can encourage each other and lift each other up in the hardest moments. So I'll stop it there for now. I hope that you found this to be encouraging or at least enlightening to how I'm doing. And so that's what I got. I'll be seeing you guys soon. So thank you so much for your time, and God bless you.